Morning, gang. It's Saturday, the 11th of May, 2019. Welcome to Bracknell, here in Royal Berkshire. And this morning's United Kingdom talk on a rather dreary day outside. The clouds are over. It's not cold, though. Can't complain. Not cold, my dear. Just like yesterday. Although I got a little bit wet while I was attempting to go to the swimming pool. I mean attempting. Oh, yes. I'll tell you that attempting. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But literally, yesterday was like this all day yesterday. And I went to bed in the afternoon, as I usually do, for a couple of hours. And then the sun came out as I got into the car to leave my caravan. To leave my plush Lincolnshire television studio complex. Most disappointing, dear. That's why you're up there, for the sunshine. Nothing until the moment I left, but never mind. Nice, easy drive down to work. No traffic really anywhere. A little bit when you got to London. Nothing too much about it. This is what I keep saying to you. Although it's a much longer journey to come from Lincolnshire to London, rather than Berkshire to London, a particular place in King's Cross, right? That 30-mile journey from Bracknell to King's Cross takes 2 hours. The 140-mile journey from Chapel Hill to King's Cross takes 3 hours and 20 minutes. Less if I go to the speed limit, but I'm doing like 50 mile an hour all the way down here. And I leave earlier, just in case I get stuck somewhere. Well, I was like 20 minutes early. I got there at 20 past 7. I like to be there by about 7:30, 20 to 8. I was there at 20 past 7. Funny, isn't it? Just how it is. So a really nice journey down last night, and then the karaoke itself, I was a bit naughty. I thought I'll have a few chips before I start today, because it was early, you see. So I ordered the chips, went up to the lady upstairs. Now, what's her name? Rama. Now, you might think that's a difficult name to remember until I say to you, drama without the D. Lovely lady she is. She works upstairs in the kitchen. Ordered some chips, come back downstairs, went upstairs 10 minutes later. And she said, you did say you want cheese on them, didn't you? I said, oh, no, thank you, just chips on their own. Oh, I've done the cheese on them. And then she showed me where she put all cheese on the top. And it had just gone in the microwave to melt the cheese. I said, oh, I really don't want cheese on the top. And she quickly took them out. She said, I'll do some more. I said, no, just scrape the cheese off the top. Don't worry about that. There wasn't too much on there. So she scraped the cheese off the top. And I took the chips downstairs and I thought, I wonder what these are like. And I got to say, no, cheese on chips doesn't do it for me. I mean, there's enough calories in the bloody chips, dear. You don't want to be adding cheese to them as well, do you? Oh, my word. So I had them and they were very nice. But cheese on chips, no, doesn't do it for me at all. So that was that. A really, really nice, friendly karaoke night last night. I've got to say. Singers of all abilities. Some people who couldn't sing at all. I didn't get a song in last night. Too busy. Very, very nice evening, friendly. A lot of young people in there as well last night. And I do like to see them getting involved as well. You would think that, karaoke is just for sort of older people. Not at all. Not at all. There was a lot of young people being involved in the festivities last night. So that was really nice. And I think probably the highlight of the evening was probably I think Maureen actually got the most applause for her rendition of Super Trooper by ABBA. Super Trooper, been so gonna find you, shining like the sun, feeling like a number. Ba 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 ba. I'm not gonna do the whole song. I know you want me to. Do the whole song, but I'm not going to do the whole song. How disappointed are you? Yes! I'll save that for another occasion. So she got the best round of applause last night. There was a few people in there who had just been on a holiday to Gran Canaria. So I don't know what sort of diseases they brought back from there, dear. God's sake, mate. It all goes on there. Gran Canaria. It's just like one big knocking shop, dear. Dreadful place. I've been 4 times, not recently. So that was it. That was my day yesterday. It was lovely. Got home here. And I thought, well, I'll have something before I go to bed. I'll have a bit of dinner. And I had a tin of Morrisons vegetarian sausages and baked beans. Now, I used to like the Heinz beans and sausages. You know, the normal dead animal ones. Years ago. On a Saturday night, when I was but little boy and teenage boy, on a Saturday night, my mum would do us, me and all of us, of course, all of our food, and I would have Heinz beans on sausages on a French stick. And it would be on a little table, little fold-out table thing, and I'd sit on the floor in front of the telly and eat that. I used to love that. Of course, I don't eat dead animals anymore, so I couldn't have that. But I spotted these a few weeks ago in Morrisons. I thought, I'll try those. So I've got the beans. They smell all right, I suppose. You know, put them in the little pan, started heating them up gently. Done some mashed potato to go with it and a cup of tea while unpacking my bags from the caravan. And sat down in front of the telly, and I put the telly on Ambulance. I thought I'd watch a little bit of Ambulance. And I started eating these. Oh, they were absolutely vile. Those vegetarian Morrisons vegetarian sausages and beans in a can. The sausages were absolutely vile. I'm sorry, I can't recommend those at all. It's like I can't explain the taste. They certainly don't taste of vegetables, but it's like a bleachy taste to them. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. So don't buy those for God's sake. You know, horrible thing. So I kind of picked out the sausages. And I ate the beans and the mashed potato, and that was enough, to be honest. Then I went to bed, but not before I watched a bit of Ambulance. Oh, my God, the first call was horrendous. It's this bloke who rung up, so the camera goes on to the bloke taking the phone call. Good morning, ambulance service. Is the patient... The first thing they always seem to answer is the patient breathing? And he said, no, I've killed her. So easy. I mean, of course, you know, I don't know if I could do that job. You've got to stay very calm and collected, haven't you? And this bloke's saying, he said, is she not breathing then? No, I just told you I've killed her. What's happened? And I think he said, well, my wife has been incontinent. She's got this wrong with her, and I can't cope anymore, so I've killed her. Okay, how did you do that? With a metal, I think he said an iron bar or a metal bar. Right, okay. Can you get to the patient? No. Well, why is that then? Well, she's dead. So can you give her the phone? It was not. I'm not giving you the exact words here, but no, she's dead. Okay. So then the police arrived, and the police picked up the phone from the man who had called in. And I said, oh, okay, it's a police service here. Oh, okay. Is the lady dead? And the policeman said yes. Oh my God. And that was the first call of the night. And I'm like, what? It was probably, and my guess it was one of those mercy killings. I think it was probably one of, the bloke was 83 years old. 83 years old. I think sometimes people are in so much pain and unhappiness, and they know they're never going to get well, and I think they ask for that. They ask people to do things like that. I remember my dad a long time ago, and he kept being ill all the time, and I remember talking to him in the bathroom, and he was very ill in the bathroom. He was being ill, and he says to me, oh, I've had enough of this. I said, what do you mean? He said, no, I don't want any more of this. I just want to go now. And he said that to me. And I think people know when they want to go. And I'm not one for suicide or even assisted suicide. I don't know so much. But, you know, if someone really wants to go, why don't you just let them? I think just let them go if that's what they want. But, yeah, this bloke had killed his wife. That's Ambulance. Watch it on the BBC Colour iPlayer. Available for all to watch, especially if you're only in the UK. If you're outside the UK, you'll have to get one of those dodgy... I don't know what they're called, VIN codes or something like that, so you can watch English telly without licence. You bad people, bad person, buy a licence. The BBC are on their knees, dear, on their knees. There's a job going at Radio 5. Anyone want that one? All right, let's say hello. Some of you say hello to you this morning. Over on YouTube first, good morning to Weird City Citizen. Good morning. John Parrish, our reporter from the Philippines, is in the house. Good morning, John. The Queen who sang the Queen was pretty good. The Queen who sung the Queen was pretty good. What the hell does that mean? The Queen who sang the Queen was pretty good. I don't know what that is. Weird City Citizen, what is your motivation for going vegetarian? Animals or health? Animals. Animal abuse, which I've seen, factory farming. Even when an animal is well treated, at the end of the day, it has to have a bolt put in its head for you to eat it. So that's why I went vegetarian. Nothing to do with health or anything like that. Okay. John wants to ask a question. I've noted over many years here on Earth that gay guys are more promiscuous. John, I think you need to have a little look at your head tonight because nothing's making sense. What's a promiscuous? I don't know what that is. Okay, let's go on to Facebook Live. Let's have a look on Facebook Live. Good morning to Perna. Morning to Perna. Welcome along to the show to you. Ants Galloway is in the house. Michael Pullman in Australia. Shania on Isley Widget. Good morning, Shania. I'm going to offer my services to the my organ playing services to my old church in Roehampton, I've decided. I reckon I can go there. I can offer them once or maybe twice a month there. Because obviously I'm not at the other place every week. So I'll give that. I'm going to make a phone call to, I think it's Michael who's head of the choir there, and see if he'd be interested in me going to do a little bit down there as well, okay? Morning to Diane Jeb. David Bailey. Morning, Diane. Diane. Sorry, Diane. Good morning. Confused with names now. Morning, David. Lovely sunny but cold here in Blackpool. I should think it is. Always cold in Blackpool. It's only partially a little bit colder in Glasgow. That's only slightly worse. Morning to you, Todd. Good morning, you, Todd. Michael Lawrence in the house. Morning, Michael. Tommy Flynn. Cheese on chips. No. Absolutely, Tommy. Cheese on chips. I think some places they put gravy on chips as well, which is just no. Chips with only tomato sauce, salt or vinegar. Or all three. That's it. Mayonnaise with chips. Even that. Oh, no, dear. No. Morning to Adrian Richardson. Good morning. Ray Reynolds is in the house. Good morning, Ray. Ray's there. Hello to Terry Limmer. Morning, young Terry. Tom Ryan is in the house. Good morning, young Tom. Welcome to our moment of madness this morning. Michael Lawrence. Hello to John Aitken, who's just have a mushroom omelette. Now, that tastes nice. Mushroom omelette. I do like an omelette with onions and peppers, like, stuffed on it. Maybe a little bit of cheese in there as well. I'm not very good at doing omelettes. Really not, no. Not good at omelettes. Hello to Michael Lawrence. I just paid for a new TV licence. I think it should be free. I think it's time that the BBC looked at what they do and how they do it, to be honest. I think a lot of it's all up in the air now. It's not as good as it was, is it? Let's be honest. Good morning to Sarah Lou Lace. Good morning to you, Sarah. Promiscuous, as in gay guys are proper slappers. Is that right, Sarah? I wouldn't know anything about that, my dear. You speak for yourself, my love. How rude are you, dear, this morning? Slappers. Aren't you terrible? Good morning, Maureen. There is our singer of Super Trooper, the one with the most applause last night. Maureen is with us this morning. And hello to Joseph McDonald, who says we are both watching. Terry and Joseph is watching the show this morning. So good morning to you. And the delightful, stunningly good-looking head of all Waitrose, in, out. She buys all the goods. She goes around, fills all the little boxes to send them out to the vans, everything. Michelle White is in the house. Good morning, Michelle, to you as well. All right, my darling. Good. What else have we got? Today I've got, I'm doing a bit of shopping today. I might actually pop in Waitrose today. I need some tea. And you do the best tea, the Waitrose loose leaf tea, which I quite like. So I'll probably pop in Waitrose. And do some other bits of shopping today. It's funny, I've got the washing machine on at the moment, doing me washing from last week. And as you know, I'm just going away for a few days next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, to Haven Holidays in Mablethorpe. That's where my nephew and his family are going on a short holiday. It's not too far from their house, actually. It's only about 40 minutes. But they can't go too far anymore because the little disabled girl needs a lot of attention, like 24-hour attention. And the nurse, wherever they are, a nurse has to come to them, I think once or twice a day. And she does things with tubes and stuff, so they can't go like for a long, far away holiday anymore. They've got to sort of stay sort of reasonably close. I think they could probably go up as far as Yorkshire or somewhere like that, but a plane trip or a boat trip is pretty out of the question now, I think. Unless, of course, if they could afford to pay a nurse to go on holiday, that'd cost an arm and a leg, wouldn't it? I suppose, something like that. So that's where we're going, Mablethorpe. And it's funny. I'm thinking, I need 2 weeks. Oh, sorry, I need 2 weeks worth of clothes and all this. I'm thinking to myself. Of course, I don't. I'm only going for a week, the same as I would going for a week up to the caravan. It's exactly the same. So that's what I'm doing at the moment, doing my washing. I must thank, I don't think he's with us this morning. Adam the plumber there this morning. Let's have a quick look. Where's Adam now? 1, 2, 3, 4. Adam the plumber. He's not there this morning, is he? But I must thank Adam. He probably watched this on catch up. You remember that yellow shirt that I've got? And it's years old, and the sleeve is all torn now. It's very, very worn. It's got to be 20, 25 years old, this yellow shirt. And I mentioned this on the show, and I said I've looked for, it's a Ben Sherman shirt. I've looked for a Ben Sherman yellow shirt, but I can't find that particular shade of yellow that I want. And Adam's gone on the internet and found one. And large as well, and he's found one, and it's here, and it arrived. It was in my letterbox this morning when I got in for work. Here it is, look. On eBay. Nothing wrong with it. I've got to say, it's much thicker than mine. My guess is it's just not been washed as much. You know, it probably hasn't been worn as much, but it's perfectly all right. £12 that cost me with the postage. Ben Sherman, look. No cuts or anything there. I love this colour. I absolutely love this colour. The other one, with the slight tear, is actually... I think this is bigger than the other one. This might be too big, look. Oh, my God, I'm not that fat, am I? I know I'm a bit overweight, but blimey. I'll try it on, possibly on the next show, and we'll see how that is. So, always good. You see, you can get all this designer clothes. You don't need to buy new designer clothes. If you're quite happy, and I am, to go on eBay or something like that and pick up something for bargain basement prices a lot of the time, then there it is. I might be going to see another keyboard today, which is in Woking. There's a bloke there wants £25 for a Yamaha keyboard, and I've been looking for a cheap keyboard, as I say, for the caravan, because I've got nothing to play up there, and I've got a piano here. But I can't really fit a full size. I don't want to pay, hundreds of pounds for a piano to be in a caravan. Just a second-hand keyboard or something. So there's one I've spotted in Woking. I'm going to send a bloke a little message later on and see if I can pop up and see that. Adrian says, "Are you so sure you got the right size?" No, I'm not, to be honest. It does look a bit big to me. Weird City Citizen says it looks a bit... Do you want me to change into it on here? No, I don't think so, dear. You don't want to see that. I've got breasts now. My sister said, "Oh, you've got tits." That's what my sister said. How rude is she? Rude. Good morning to Thomas H. over on Vaughan Live this morning. Morning, Thomas. Hope you're well. John, that says it looks a bit big. Nice colour, very summery. Sometimes you can get away with things that are too big, simply by putting a jacket on and then kind of stretching. I mean, this is far too big, this shirt. This is actually far too big. But what I've done, you see, it's slacking a bit now, isn't it? If you just pull it round the back, then it looks like it's the correct size, doesn't it? Oh, look, it's my mate. Let's see what he wants. Yes, we are on air, dear. Well, it's your fault for ringing when I'm talking to millions of people all over the world. How can I help you this morning?
Call me when you're done.
Are you not well?
I'm all right. Just call me when you're done.
Okay. Do you want me to finish earlier?
No.
Okay, I shall ring you when I finish. Ta-ta!
Bye.
There's my mate. Oh, he's not well at all. He has terrible trouble with his lungs. He's got, Oh, what's it called? Empathy? Something. Emphysema. He's got emphysema, and his lungs. 1 minute they're okay, and then he's like really breathless all the time. So I'll have to go around and see him a little bit later. Poor Ronnie. Oh, he is rough at the moment. He is rough. He has good days and bad days. He doesn't seem to have like a long spell of good time anymore. You know, it's up and down all the time. Yesterday he sounded perfectly all right on the phone yesterday. You just heard him there. Sorry, that you shouldn't really have heard that. It was a bit of a private call. He just happened to call in while we were doing the show, didn't he? Sorry about that. Adrian thinks it might be too small for me. I doubt that, Adrian. It's not too small for me, dear. I haven't weighed myself. I'm frightened to get on the scales now. I am. I'm frightened to get on the scales. Joseph wants to know, would you ever buy anyone's used underwear? Well, not if it was yours. No, thank you, Joseph. I'd need to see a photo of the... I'd need to see a picture of the person whose underwear it was first. Yours? No, thank you. Keep them. Not even if you plonked them in a bowl and put bleach in there for 3 weeks. I still wouldn't buy your underwear, Joseph. No, but thank you for offering them to me. There's my nephew Gary Butler, who we're going to Mablethorpe with him. Rather disappointingly, one of the things of going to Haven holidays is a lot of them have this place called Millie's Cookies. Do you know what Millie's Cookies is? This is like a little shop within the entertainment complex, and they sell large cookies and Mr. Whippy ice cream. And they do these different, I think you call them sundaes, you know, like in large plastic glass, and they put in a bit of ice cream, then they smash up a biscuit, then they put a bit more ice cream in, then they smash up another cookie, then they put a bit more ice cream in and some sprinkles on the top. There's not one there. I'm so disappointed. There isn't one there. I was kind of hoping that they might build one before that we all got there, but that's the way it is. So I'm so looking forward to, and we do have wonderful holidays when I go away with my family. Really do. There'll be Gary and his wife Stacey. I think we'll probably have a nurse as well. As I said at the beginning of the show, visit once or twice. I think it's once or twice a day. I can't remember anyway. And then there's Olivia. She's the little girl who needs the attention. And there's Evie, who's now 7 years. I can't believe she's 7. 7 years old, Evie. And Harry, of course, who is going to be 6. I think he's going to be 6. That's on Tuesday while we're at holiday. And my nephew's wife is. I did offer to buy a cake actually from the old Batiste Valerie because I love their cakes. I'll be honest. I shouldn't really say this. I would be buying the cake more for me than them, to be honest. Perhaps I could just buy one for myself and have it in the caravan. I did offer to get one of those, but a much better thing is that my nephew's wife Stacey, she makes the cake. And that's very special, isn't it? Don't you think? I think it's very special when someone makes a cake for you, or you know, buys a present for you. Do you know what I mean? It's special when they do that. In fact, I had a little special cake made for me this week. I had a lemon drizzle cake. Oh yes, made for me by my dear sister. Randomly, I just rang out. She said, "Oh, I'm just making you a cake." Oh, are you? That lemon drizzle cake. And I rushed round there, dear. I couldn't wait. It was still in the oven. And she got it out and she started poking it with a stick. I said, what are you doing? Oh, it's for the lemon. So she turns it upside down and then starts squeezing lemon in. There was already lemon in the mixture. Then she puts some more in like that and then waits a while. And then we have a slice. Oh, my God, it's delicious. You bite into this like, I like cake. I do like cake. I like rainbow cake in particular. You know that rainbow cake you can get? It's all different colours. What's it? Anyone know what that's called exactly? It's like little like there'd be a red, there'd be yellow, there'd be brown, there'd be green, there'd be orange. Is it called rainbow cake? Oh, lovely. Lovely. And I just have that on its own, not with custard or anything like that. And we bit into this and it's kind of sweet. And then the lemon, the kind of sharp lemon, you get a taste of that. Oh, it's delicious. My sister's lemon drizzle cake. If only I'd bought up a bit. I should have bought some up to show you. Anyway, I've got it down with me here, so I think Ronnie's going to have a little bit, if he's well enough, Ronnie's going to have a little bit later, and we'll look forward to that, okay? Let's just scroll back a little bit there. 1 second, my darlings. I think all your messages are coming up on the chat screen this morning. It looks like they're all there this morning. Look at that. I don't think I've missed anyone out at all. Just a reminder, gang, if you do send texts or messages through and you find they're not being read out, then they're just not getting to me. Use the text number up there. It's a phone number. Just a normal phone number, okay? It's not a phone for you to call. If you call it, no one will answer. It's just for text messages. 07, that's how Maureen messages the programme. 07551 259 675. All right, 07551 259 675. John says he's got moobs too. I need a bra. Yeah, I got rid of them when I was on the Slimming World, John. They do disappear. They do, but you have to change what you eat. You know, and at our age, whether you're a little bit fat or a little bit thin, it don't matter. No one fancies us. Don't think you can lose weight at a certain age and attract people. They're just not interested anymore. That's how it is, John. You got someone in your life. There's no one for me, dear. No one. Never mind. John said, emphysema, that was the thing. Michael says, did Ronnie smoke? Yes. I used to smoke as well. I used to smoke, Michael. When I was at the Black Cap, I'd smoke 20 cigarettes in a night. I kid you not. And I gave up, 27, 37. I've gave up, I would say, about 30 years ago now. I just stopped. That was it. End of. Didn't touch another one since. Good morning to Stephen Lusher, who's in Singapore. How lovely. Singapore Airlines, a great way to fly. They've got the top thing, haven't they, Singapore Airlines? Aren't they like the top of the flying tree or something like that? Stephen says, there's most probably a market for selling used underwear. I'm sure there is, Stephen. Are you selling yours, are you, dear? Ghastly, Thomas says. Yes, absolutely. Buying used underwear. I don't know about that. Adrian, what size you should need now then with all those cakes and cookies? Extra large, Adrian. Which is 2 sizes smaller than you by the look of it, dear. Gosh, a man, dear. John, I've never baked a cake, but I've had my fair share of them. Oh, cakes, dear. And angel cake. I like angel cake as well. Do you like angel cake? 3 different colours. I like colours, you see. I love colours. I love colours. It's called rainbow cake, Adrian says. Oh, right, you can get it in Waitrose. Can you really? I didn't know that. Oh, well, I might be going there later to Waitrose to get some of Michelle's special tea. Waitrose English breakfast tea. Very tasty, yes. Joseph McDonald thinks it's called angel cake. No, angel cake is just 3 colours. It's pink, yellow and white. See, I know. I love it. You can get them for £1 here. A whole cake for £1. I must say, I was in the Asda in Boston, I think Wednesday or Thursday last week, and I thought, I'll have my lunch here, and I had very reasonably priced, very nice food, just a jacket potato with some beans, cheese on top, and there was a little bit of it. It was only small, piece of, it was rainbow cake, okay, but it was only £1. And that, to me, is reasonable for a piece of cake. And bloody Starbucks, 2.5, 3 quid for 1 slice of cake. The joke of it, we got a Starbucks in the Sainsbury's up the road here in Bracknell. And it's a joke. You can go into the Sainsbury's and buy an entire cake, angel cake for £1, or go into Starbucks and have a slice of their lemon drizzle cake, which is very nice, for about 2.5 quid. 1 slice? Please. No. So you know what to do, don't you? You go in the supermarket, you buy a whole cake, and you keep it in the bag next to you. And you go and buy your tea. Also, enormous expense in Starbucks. You sit there and drink. You have a quick look around. You put your hand in your bag. You fish out the cake. Put it back in the bag again. That's what you have to do. Them's the rules. Yes. Let's have a look. Excuse me, I picked up a cough myself now. John bought a Mr. Kipling lemon slices the other day because you mentioned lemon drizzle cake. And what about the Mr. Kipling Bakewell tart slices? with the little brown lines that go along there. Oh, aren't they delicious? I have to have 3. There's 6 in a packet. I have to have 3 of those. Mr. Kipling Bakewell slices. Oh. A couple of years ago, in Waitrose, that Heston bloke, he does strange things with food. Heston did Bakewell tart hot cross buns. I thought I'll try some of those. So I got these hot cross buns, Heston, and they were about 4 or 5 quid, a bit extra than normal. Put them in the oven. Oh, they smell nice, but I ate them. No, didn't taste right. Didn't taste right at all. They were hot cross buns that tasted like Bakewell tart. Didn't quite work for me. But he does some other good things. He was doing this ice cream dessert thing with like a biscuit at the bottom. It was 10 quid, this thing. It was like a bar like that. And that was absolutely delicious. I didn't see it this year, so I guess they've stopped doing that one, which is a shame. It only ever came out around Christmas. It wasn't an all-year thing there. John's starting the gym again and diet again on Monday morning. Why wait till Monday, John? Start now, dear. There's no point going out on that Saturday night. I just have one more kebab. Oh, no. You've got to start now. That's what I did with the Slimming World, you see, a couple of years ago. I literally went in the afternoon and started there and then. That's what you have to do, dear. Adrian gave up smoking when he was 6 years old. David Bailey, have you ever watched Channel 4's Extreme Cake Makers? Some of the cakes are fantastic, but they seem to waste a lot of cake to get the shapes they need. No, I've never really... I don't watch cooking programmes, David, I must admit. The only cooking programme I really enjoyed was on the television in the 1970s, and it was called The Galloping Gourmet. And it was this bloke called Graham Kerr. I think it was in New Zealand, and he used to do all the cooking and that, but he had a real flair about him. It wasn't just a cooking programme. It was an entertainment programme. I watched a bit of that Bake Off thing on Channel 4 Colour the other day, and I thought, this is so bland. And you knew people are like being told, there's a producer somewhere shouting, oh no, can you make that look a bit like that? And I thought, no, I don't believe what's going on here. The Galloping Gourmet was very natural, and he was a real character, Mr. Graham Kerr. You may well find some of them on YouTube. And he'd do the cooking, and he'd muck up sometimes, and he'd go running over it was a massive kitchen, he'd go running all over the place. And at the end, the camera would move onto a table which had a candle on it and all that, and he would go and pull out a member of the audience. And then they'd go onto the stage and he'd sit there with them, hello, how are you, and all this business. And then they'd start eating it, and his face would go like that, just like mine does when I'm eating angel cake. Oh, yes. Mr. Kipling do make it. They're nice cakes, although I'm not too keen on the apple pies he does. No, my favourite apple pies are probably the ones they do in the Co-op with proper slices of apple pies. Those Mr. Kipling apple pies, it's just mush in there, isn't it? Don't you find it's just mush in there? They're not particularly nice. Weird City tried a cheesecake company, salted caramel cakes with cheesecake core from Waitrose. Oh, stop it now! I'm not supposed to be eating cakes, dear. Stop it! I'm going to Waitrose later. I might try one of those. Thank you, Shania. I'll offer my services to them, I think. I'd quite like to do a little bit more organ playing. We've just got the schedule, actually, for June, July and August. And there's now 4 of us playing in Wokingham. So we're kind of one a month now, which is, I'd like to get a little bit more involved in that. Someone else has come back onto the rota who was off it. So there's more of us to do it now. So I'd like to offer my playing to someone else. It might go well. Joseph, you'd be good at presenting your own TV show. Well, what's this then, dear? This isn't a television. This is a television show. What is this then, dear? How rude are you? This is a television show, dear. Plus studios and everything, dear. I mean, look. Look, does this look like someone's room? Spare bedroom? No, it doesn't. It's a proper television studio, dear. How dare you? I'm already doing one. Are you watching something else, dear? Rude. God's sake, John. It's ever since I started playing the Dam Busters, I've had a problem with you. Ba, ba. Do you remember I used to play that in the penny farthing? Ba, 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 ba. See, I was always off my head there. You don't realise it. I used to come from trade straight into the pub and start work. I hadn't been asleep since the 7 o'clock the night before. And there I was at the penny farthing, 12 o'clock in the afternoon, completely on another planet. Good point. Weird City has suggested that I do need to eat cakes to feel the new shirt. You're quite right there, my friend. Quite right there. John, chips, pizza and chocolate. Oh, yeah, it's too much. It really is. Thomas loves carrot cake. I'm not too keen on carrot cake, I must admit. Not too keen on carrot cake. But we all like different things, don't we? We all like different cakes and bits and pieces. Excuse me a moment. I picked up this. Where's this cough come from? Wasn't there at the beginning of the night. Right, some stories for you then on this Saturday morning, boys and girls. Irish. There's a lovely, lovely, lovely story in the Daily Mail. It's kind of slipped down the list now online, but if you buy the paper, it's probably in there. Reunited after 80 years. And basically, it's an Irish pensioner lady who was raised in an orphanage. And it says she made a surprise visit to her 103-year-old mother when a genealogist tracked her down after a 6-decade search. This lady, Eileen Macken, 81, grew up in the Bethany Home Orphanage in Dublin and knew nothing about her birth mother, who had given her up for adoption as a child. But after a 61-year-old search, she looked for 61 years for her mother, and call to RTE's Liveline programme, Mrs. Macken made a surprise visit to her mother Elizabeth, who a genealogist had tracked down to Scotland. Oh, it's such a lovely, and there's pictures of them there. 81 years old, and she's only just found her mother, who's 103. Isn't that lovely? She said, once I heard that, nothing would stop me trying to get to see her. Their joyful reunion marks the end of a search that Mrs. Macken launched when she was just 19, in a poignant echo of the Oscar-nominated movie Philomena, which is, I don't know if you've seen that. That's a really good film. It'll make you cry. Philomena, starring the great Judi Dench. You must, if you get a chance, please watch Philomena, okay? After throwing her arms around the centurion for a hug, Mrs. Macken says, "You've no idea what it's done to me. I'm just so happy." Wow. Her mother, Elizabeth, was 22 when she gave birth to Eileen in August 1937 in a doctor's surgery in Dublin. In those days, babies born out of wedlock were typically adopted, and baby Eileen was handed to the Bethany home in the Irish Republic's capital. This is in the Daily Mail. Aged 5 months, she was passed to the Church of Ireland orphan house in the city where she lived until she was 17. On the 11th of April, accompanied by her husband, George, who's 82, and one of her daughters, Mrs. Macken flew over to Scotland from Ireland. She embarked on a trip with her family to visit Elizabeth, who turns 104 years old, who has turned 104 years old in April, despite receiving no invitation to make the journey. Her family were worried about making the trip uninvited, but Mrs. Macken was determined to meet her birth mother, who she was shocked is still alive. She told the Belfast Telegraph, "I went over to see her, and she's the most beautiful lady, lovely family, and they gave me a great welcome." I mean, how fantastic is that? Isn't that the most lovely of stories? All those years where she'd never met her mum, and at 104 years old, she met her mum for the first time. I think that's wonderful, that story. I really do. Have a little look in the Daily Mirror for that. Was it the Daily Mail, that one? And you can read the whole story there. Okay? I beg your pardon. I don't know where this has come from. I'm not having trouble breathing or anything. I've just got a little bit of a... it's running down the back of my throat. You know what I mean? Sorry to be so physical to you there. John says you might have hay fever. The air is very humid and dry, and the pollen count is high. Get some antihistamines. It might be that, actually. It might be that. Might be that. Thomas says it's nice hearing good news. It really is. It's a lovely story, that. And John says, David says, I used to love Mum's bread pudding. Oh, yes. My mum used to do all this cooking and I never ate it. I never ate it. She was a damn good cook, my mum. Nothing in packets, no boxes, not even Mr. Kipling's, nothing like that. She'd make everything herself. David said, I used to love Mum's bread pudding. Unfortunately, she's no longer with us, and I've never tasted pudding like it anywhere. I don't think you will, David. You never will, mate. You never will. No one can compare to Mum's cooking, can they? Not even my sister. And my sister can cook. She does nice cooking things. We'll do one more story then, boys and girls. Where are we? Now, ladies. I know we've got some ladies watching today. I don't know how many of you are childbearing age, but what do you do with all that leftover breast milk when you have a child? What do you do with it all? Well, here's a suggestion. In the Daily Mirror, a woman has caused a stir on social media after revealing her plans to have her breast milk turned into a ring. Oh, yes. When becoming a parent for the first time, there are loads of small details, it says in the Daily Mirror, you'll want to take in and savour. For the first time, your baby smiles to the first time they say a little word. I want your babies to first say Chris Reardon. Can they do that? But one mum wants to remember a different aspect of her parenthood. A woman named Nicole has opened up about the way she intends to commemorate her time breastfeeding, and it's caused a bit of a stir on the social media. Nicole is planning to have some of her breast milk made into a piece of jewellery as a keepsake. Yes, she's having her breast milk made into a piece of jewellery. In a post on a ring, the mum explained that she'd found a website that made breastfeeding rings. She found 3 ring designs she really liked, but was having trouble narrowing down her options. So she decided to turn to the professionals, the people who love to get catty about carats and stones and settings. It's fair to say many of the members of the ring shaming group were too distracted by the subject to shame the photos. So that's what she said. She's having her breast milk turned into a ring. I mean, would you do something like that? Is that a nice way to remember someone? Or what you've done or bought up? I know, like, sometimes when people have died, people start cutting off bits of them. Like, well, I say not like fingers and legs and things. I mean, like bits of hair. They cut off a bit of hair, don't they, and that sort of thing. And someone suggested that when I lost my dear mother. He said, oh, why don't you cut off a lock of her hair as a gift? And I'm like, no. There's something not right about that, isn't there? Do you think? Or am I being a bit silly there? Maybe you've lost someone in your life and you've cut off a piece of their hair and maybe you keep it, I don't know, in a paperweight or a little plastic bag or something like that. And I'm like, what a weird thing to do. Cut off a piece, whether it's a bit of hair or a blooming finger. It's just odd. I mean, does anyone cut off a piece of one of their dead relatives' limbs at all? Anyone sitting there in the living room watching this on a big telly and you've got a leg sitting next to you in a glass cabinet or something like that? How awful. Awful. Good morning to Joanna. Very, very strange indeed. Thomas says breast milk made into a ring. He don't like the sound of that either, does he? Joanna's just appeared in time for the singing. How fantastic. Good morning, Joanna. All right, let's do today's birthdays, boys and girls. Just coming up to 10 o'clock on a Saturday morning. Happy birthday today to Benjamin Fitzroy Hutton. Good morning, Benji boy. Worked with him at Belushi's in London Bridge. Lovely chap. I hope you're well, Benjamin. Happy birthday to you, sir. Every year it comes round. Every year I remember. As long as you carry on being a friend of mine on Facebook, your birthday will be read out. All right. John says I've got my mum's John says I've got my mum's glasses and my dad's old cap. Yeah, that's okay to have something of theirs, but not a body part or a piece of nail or something. Anyway, back to this. Grant Bicknell. Good morning, Grant. Happy birthday to you, sir. Mike Mitchell today is a young 40 years old. Julian Walker. I haven't seen you for years, Julian. Happy birthday to you. Mike Nesbitt. Good morning. Happy birthday. Richard Elliott's birthday today. Johnny Kerman. I think it is CER, isn't it? Kerman, happy birthday to you. Vince Goldsmith, good morning, young Vince. Happy birthday to you. And Raymond Pearson today is 62 years old. So happy birthday. Not many people putting their ages on today's birthday, but never mind. Happy birthday to you all, gang. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. On this Saturday. Now, not sure about the timings of the next show. Tomorrow may or may not be one. Tonight I'll be going to work and then going back up to the caravan in preparation for our little holiday next week. There certainly won't be a show on Tuesday, Wednesday or Thursday or Friday next week. There might be one Monday morning, so not sure about the times. I will do a couple of recorded shows, okay, which I'll upload to both Facebook and YouTube. Sorry, I'm falling live. I can't do that there. It's just not possible to do it on there. Okay, so if you want to join me there, my YouTube is youtube.com/Chris Reardon UK. Hit the subscribe button there, and you'll get a little message whenever there's a new show, either live. I think you get one if there's a new recorded one uploaded as well. Okay, and the same on Facebook. Hit the subscribe button. I don't know what it is, the subscribe button on Facebook somehow there, and that will work as well. All right, gang. Have a lovely day. Thanks ever so much for joining us on this Saturday afternoon, and I'll see you again very soon. Oh, the sun's come out. Are you ready, Joanna? The sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow. They are especially for Joanna. Cheerio.